Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Dollar ends higher on lack of progress in U.S. pandemic aid talks analysis. http ntvforex.com news ID F0C0648122022 0747 AM market review 11/08/2020 NBSP 2351 GMT NBSP dollar ends higher on lack of progress in U.S. pandemic aid talks. The greenback paired intraday losses made in Asia and European morning and ended Tuesday higher against majority of its peers as risk appetite waned after a U.S. Senate official said negotiations on the additional stimulus package for the coronavirus pandemic have not progressed. NBSP Reuters reported U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said White House negotiators have not spoken on Tuesday with Democratic leaders in the U.S. Congress on coronavirus aid legislation after talks broke down last week. NBSP As far as I know, the Secretary of the Treasury and the White House Chief of Staff have not spoken to the Speaker and the Democratic leader today. And so another day has gone by with an impasse and they need to get together, McConnell told Fox News. NBSP Reuters reported the Labor Department said on Tuesday its producer price index for final demand increased 0.6% last month after falling 0.2% in June. In the 12 months through July, the PPI dropped 0.4% after declining 0.8% in June. NBSP economists polled by Reuters had forecast the PPI rising 0.3% in July and decreasing 0.7% on a year-on-year basis. NBSP versus the Japanese yen. Dollar initially gained from 105.93 in Australia to 106.17 at Asian Open on rise in the Nikkei 225 and then ratcheted higher to 106.23 in European morning due to rally in U.S. Treasury yields before retreating to 105.94 at New York Open. However, the pair then rose to a two-week high at 106.68 in New York on USD's broad-based strength before weakening to 106.44 on profit-taking. NBSP The single currency continued its recent losing streak and fell to session lows of 1.1723 at Asian Open on cross-selling in euro before rebounding to 1.1756 at European Open on short covering. Despite retreating again to 1.1724, the pair then rallied to 1.1807 on upbeat German ZEW economic sentiment data but only to fall back to 1.1729 on active buying in the greenback and traded at 1.1739 near the close. NBSP Reuters reported the survey of investors' economic sentiment rose to 71.5 from 59.3 points the previous month, far exceeding a forecast for 58.0 in a Reuters poll of economists. NBSP The British pound went through a volatile session. Although cable rebounded from 1.3064 in Australia to 1.3096 in Asian morning, price fell to 1.3055 at European Open on weak UK jobs data. The pair then rallied to 1.3132 ahead of New York Open, however, price then erased its gains and tumbled to an intraday low at 1.3042 in late New York on USD's strength. NBSP Reuters reported the number of people in employment in Britain fell by 220,000 in the 3 months to June, the most since 2009, as the coronavirus crisis hit the labour market, Office for National Statistics said. NBSP In other news, Reuters reported China is continuing to buy U.S. goods and particularly commodities under the U.S.-China Phase 1 trade deal signed in January, despite rising tensions on Hong Kong and other issues, White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said on Tuesday. NBSP asked if deteriorating ties between the world's two largest economies on other fronts could result in the trade deal being thrown out the window. Kudlow said, No NBSP data to be released on Wednesday. NBSP Australia Consumer Sentiment, Wage Price Index, New Zealand RBNZ Interest Rate Decision, UK GDP, Industrial Output, manufacturing output, construction output, trade balance, NIS for GDP estimate, Italy consumer prices, CPI EU norm, EU industrial production, and US MBA mortgage applications, core CPI, CPI, real weekly earnings, federal budget. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.